Hey, it's Whitney from EcoVeganGal.com and welcome back to another Eco Vegan Gal Uncensored. It is 7:45 a.m. in the morning, and that's not because I got up early, it's because I haven't gotten to sleep yet. So if I look tired, it's because I am tired and I'm about to get into bed. I've been on this crazy kick for a couple weeks now where I really have been enjoying staying up until the sun comes up and sleeping. And it sounds completely weird and unnatural, but that's like when my brain turns on. I've talked about this before in the videos, and I'm just kind of letting myself go with it. I've noticed recently that after midnight, I'm just like on it, and I just am getting so much work done. It's been so rewarding, fulfilling. I have to say I haven't felt 100%. It's definitely challenging to sleep when there's light coming in, so I'm going to be investing in blackout shades to see if that makes a difference. I've tried switching over to a earlier schedule and hasn't worked for me, but that's a whole nother story. And in case any of you are going to type a comment about being concerned, trust me, I have been dealing with this for years and years. I've heard it all, and I don't want you to be concerned. I think if anything, I say this to explain how exciting it is to get work done. If you haven't noticed, I've published so much on EcoVeganGal.com, which is huge for me. I've been finally working on getting my newsletter relaunched. I've been putting out videos. I'm working on so many projects, and even though it feels weird to stay up this late, it's just working for me. It's awesome. And I also want anybody else to know that if you're in the same boat, if you're on a completely abnormal schedule, it's okay to do every once in a while as long as you're checking in on your health. And for me, generally, I feel like I'm in peak health, peak energy. I haven't been getting sick, so it feels okay. I feel like as long as you're getting the sleep that you need, if I can get my 8 or 9 hours of sleep at any time in the day, I guess, does it really matter when you sleep? I didn't mean for this video to turn into a whole conversation about that, and yet here we are 2 minutes into it. Actually, I wanted to share some feelings about comments. So what spurred this video was that I was really excited because of a video I just put up on the main Eco Vegan Gal channel about this partnership that I'm doing with Vegan Cuts. And I made this video yesterday. I worked with Kobe of Vegetorials, and I know you watch these videos, Kobe. I adore you. I would tell you this constantly, but I so adore you. And I want to tell everybody that I love Kobe from Vegetorials. If you haven't checked out her channel, check it out now. She is so talented on camera. She makes great recipes, but she's also an incredible editor. And I'm so thrilled to say that we've been working together lately, and it has shifted things so much for me. And this is our second video together. The other one that we did hasn't been published yet, but I felt so good about this. I watched the video over and over again. I showed it to the Vegan Cuts team, and they were excited about it, and I published it, and I was pumped. And then, like, within minutes of putting up that video, I get 2 negative comments, and I wanted to punch them. Not really, no, sort of. But I'm trying to transform that energy into some loving thoughts and to brush it off. But part of the transformation process of dealing with negative comments is feeling perplexed and sad that people feel the need to put other people down online. It's something that I'm increasingly frustrated with, and yet trying to be less frustrated with. I'm realizing that the more that I experiment with my creativity, the more that I do, the more content that I put out, the more people that are starting to find out about what I'm doing and follow me or become part of the community, the more you're susceptible to criticism. And it hasn't gotten easier for me. I've talked about this many times in videos, and it's just such an interesting thing, and I'm dealing with it in many segments. 2014 is shaping up to be, or is already becoming, this year where I'm doing a lot of new things. So Number one, I'm doing a retreat in Costa Rica. I'm so thrilled about that. And I'm also going to be doing a food demos on a cruise in the Caribbean. And promoting these events is something completely new. I'm working on a number of different projects that I have yet to really publicly talk about yet. So it's just all new territory. And, when you try new things is generally really exciting, especially when I feel really good about it. And it's sad to get feedback from people who aren't supportive. And it's like, I guess ultimately the lesson that I'm learning is that if it feels good, then you should do it in most cases. So I started this video talking about sleep, my sleeping schedule. This honestly feels really good to me. It feels okay to me to go to bed at 8 a.m. sometimes and sleep until like 3 in the afternoon or whatever time I need to sleep until. That feels great to me. It might be weird for everybody else and it might seem unnatural, but probably because it is unnatural to sleep during the day. But if it feels right, then why does anybody else's opinions matter? The only thing I would say in that case is it would matter if it was like a medicinal opinion and people are telling me it's not good for my long-term health, which is actually a concern of mine. But that aside, when we talk about the creative side and the content creation side, that's a whole nother story. So this vegan cut stuff, it's the video style that Kobe and I collaborated on together here is something new for me. I really want to take my videos to another level. I want to get more creative with them. I want to try new things. And I admire so many of the YouTube and other content creators out there that are doing really creative work. And I don't know, maybe they receive criticism for it as well. Maybe people are critical because it's new. One of the comments that I received today was, unsubscribe. And that's literally all they said. Like, okay. Thank you for unsubscribing and not giving me feedback. I'm glad that you decided that you hated this video so much that you decided to unsubscribe. And I thought it was actually kind of funny to me because, this video, there was nothing offensive about it. This is me enthusiastically talking about a partnership and products that I love and doing it in a quick, fun, easy way that I thought people would love. And apparently this person and another person didn't like it. And I was actually surprised by it. I was taken off guard that those were the first two comments. So this also leads me to another thing is that I've noticed lately that anytime money comes into play or professional partnerships come into play, people get really sensitive to it. So meaning as a content creator, which is what I am, I'm mostly creating content for free. I'm mostly, spending hours and hours of my time posting pictures and social media posts and articles and sharing videos. Most of the stuff is free. And once I start promoting things that I'm doing that are paid, I've started to receive feedback, and people around me have received similar feedback of, oh my gosh, I can't believe you're charging, or I can't believe you're charging that much, or how dare you do this, and this kind of reaction from people that are offended by asking for money. And it's not like I'm standing there just holding out my hand asking for money. I'm providing services in exchange for money. And it's interesting how people react to it. And I think ultimately it's just a matter of retraining people. I've been in this career. I've had Ego Vegan Gal for, I always lose track every single time. I think it's 5.5 years at this point. It's been a long time. And most of that time I've been doing things for free. And yet so I guess I could understand why people might be offended when you do something new. So a lot of people don't like change. So when something new happens, it's like, oh my God, change. I, on the other hand, am the type of person, change is really exciting. I'm like, oh my God, change. Yes. Let me try something new. Whereas I suppose a lot of people are like, I can't handle change. I'm unsubscribing right now. I can't stand it. Or, oh my God, you're charging money for once. This is new. How dare you? You offended me. You betrayed me. You changed. And it's like, the reality is trying new things and evolving and owning your value and becoming a business person are, to me, beautiful forms of change. To me, I admire people when they do that. When people start to charge money, when people start to do things of value, when they start to improve and start getting professional, I'm so eager. I'm so excited about it. And I find it just so fascinating that some people just can't handle it. And I guess for me, the biggest thing that I'm learning is not only to try to let it slide off my skin, roll off my back, which is actually very challenging. And I'm not sure if I'll ever get really good at that. But what I can get good at is just letting that go, which I guess is along the same lines, but transforming it and saying, all right, this hurts. I don't like getting negative feedback. Constructive criticism is fine, and I always welcome that. But when people are just downright mean or rude or get offended or, attack mode, it's hard. I can't even talk. It's hurtful. But I can transform that energy and recognize that I don't want hurtful people in my life. I don't want people that say hurtful things to me unwarranted. So I don't want those people in my life, so they can go. So I let them go. And I think, all right, I'm just going to wish them well and say, I'm sorry this doesn't work for you anymore. Thank you for being here. Good luck on the rest of your journey. And you can apply this to so many aspects of your life, right? Anytime somebody hurts your feelings, is trying not to take it personally and transforming that and saying, this hurts, but somebody's reaction to me is not really anything to do with me. That's all about them. That's about what they're going through and what's happening in their life, what they're experiencing. There's so many factors into the way that we respond to one another that we can't control, we can't be responsible for. So ultimately, it's doing the best that you can, feeling good about it, thinking before you act. And if when you're thinking about something, it feels right, and when you do something, it feels right, that's the best that you can do. You put it out there, and how people respond is how they're going to respond. I think the biggest thing that we can do, whether we're creating content or we're having conversations or whatever we're out doing in the world, the worst thing that we can do in those cases is expect positive feedback all the time, or hope for it, or wait for it. We shouldn't even necessarily be expecting or hoping for feedback in general. I mean, ultimately, the way we act in this world should just be for ourselves, and not from a selfish standpoint, but really this is our own lives, right? And it's almost like a selfish thing to expect people to respond positively to you at all, or at least most of the time. And I'm still processing this, and that's part of the reason I'm doing this video. And I can't wait to hear your feedback on this. I think that a lot of us have been raised to be nice to one another and to be hurt when people are mean to us. And then, of course, there are plenty of people who haven't been raised to be nice to one another, or they have different versions of what being nice is. And so we can get aggressive, and it can affect other people in that sense. So I think it's important to not only transform it, but to be more aware of yourself and how you respond to other people, and take those opportunities as an opportunity to respond in a nice way. There are plenty of people online who get upset and attack other people when they attack them. I'm guilty of that myself, and I always have to stop and check myself at that time. I don't know. It's an ongoing learning process, and as my yoga teacher was saying, in my class that I took last night that, yoga is a reflection of how we act in the rest of the world and so much about our life. And funny enough, in that class where he was saying that, my focus in that class was on my breathing. I wanted to be very focused and mindful of my breath and staying present and breathing through any of the hardships. And I have plenty of aspects of yoga that are incredibly painful, some that I haven't quite been able to do entirely, or I can only kind of half do them, or I maybe need to take a break. But when I get into that point, when I get into a yoga pose that is challenging, that hurts, the first thing I do is just try to breathe and breathe and breathe and breathe. And then if I can't make it through it, I let myself go. So it's the perfect thing, metaphor for what I'm going through right now is breathing through it, breathing through the pain, and then letting it go. And knowing that you're doing the best that you can. And, pain is really a mental thing, and that I'm reminded this constantly by my yoga teachers, is that they're always trying to push through the pain, breathe through the pain. You can make it. It's just a mental challenge. And it's kind of the same thing with the content creation, or putting yourself out there in any form in life. You're only going to grow if you keep doing it, if you keep trying, if you keep doing new things. That's the only way you can grow and expand. And the breath and letting it go is such a huge part of it. So that's what I'm going to do. I also want to take this opportunity to thank all of you who watch these videos. You support me in so many different ways, and I never know what to expect, and I try not to have expectations when it comes to these. I still am sensitive, but I've grown stronger because of you, because of your comments and your feedback and your support and you being there to watch these videos. It means the world to me that you're watching at all. But the fact that you often come back with positive comments and or constructive criticism is so amazing, and I'm just so grateful for it. Thank you so, so much for it all, and I want to make sure that you feel honored, and I want you to know that I'm here for you as well. That's really the point of everything that I do with Eco Vegan Gal, is just to help people raise their consciousness and expand and grow in so many different aspects of our lives. So even if I don't have the opportunity to directly connect with you, I just want you to know that collectively I appreciate you. I read your comments and I take it all in, and it has shaped me in so many different ways. So thank you. Thank you for being part of that collective positive community that I've been working so hard to build. So take a deep breath with me, and I wish you the very best for your day today. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time. I'm going to bed now.